And you're live on PM Express tonight. Apologies for the late start, the technical challenge that had to be fixed, but better late than never. The conversation about looming. If you're wondering what that is, you are not alone. I was there as well wondering what this is until a few hours back when I started reading about this very interesting topic that the Security and Exchange Commission, the Economic and Organized Crime Office have all written about recently. It's a very big conversation on social media platforms as well. Demystifying the mystery. Now, Ghana's financial sector, we know currently, was hit by, several big issues. It's struggling to recover from a major financial crisis involving the Ponzi scheme. Meng's Gold was a big one. Many people lost funds in there. Millions of Ghanaians were denied access to their funds after investing with Meng's Gold. We know that. It still has rippling effects across many homes in the country. And there are a few of them that we've experienced in the last decades in this country. We have the Pyram and R5 schemes. If you're old enough to remember this, it cost a lot of lives, many heartbreaks there as well. DKM, fairly recent, just under the former administration. Goddess Love Fan Club, among others. They all developed all these very interesting schemes, to make money off people and others as well. And then we now have this new one called the loom. What is this animal? We'll get into that tonight. Now, the Security and Exchange Commission, EOCO, have all warned against this particular scheme, warning people to desist from engaging in it. SEC says, it has been asked to regulate this particular scheme. SEC says they cannot regulate it. It's not even licensed. So you participating in this, you do it at your own risk. They've warned us already about it. But some Ghanaians have ignored these red alerts. They simply cannot be bothered because there's good money to be made from it as well. The question really is this another Ponzi scheme waiting to explode? And how should state agencies, regulatory authorities deal with this mysterious loom phenomenon? That's what we'll be interrogating tonight with people who understand this. And the interesting thing about this is, and if you read all the literature on this, it appears to be targeted at the young, vibrant population because it plays mostly on social media. Very fascinating discussion on this. If you don't understand what this is, but you've heard about a loom, this is where to be. Stay with us. And you are live on PM Expresses on the JoyNews channel on the Multi-TV. My name is Evan Spencer, and this conversation about looming. For some, I've described it as a looming crisis. Just a pun on the word itself scares you. The EOCO, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, has issued a statement over the weekend, warning people to desist from engaging in it. The Security and Exchange Commission has done the same. But listen, there's money to be made there, and people are doing this. And so we need to understand what the animal really is. And maybe consider its implications as far as regulation is concerned. Joining me to have that conversation is Gifty Nanaya Yeboah. Gifty, thank you very much. How should I describe you in this context? I haven't told you you're a loom agent.
Well, I would say I was a victim, and I'm really against it. It's bad business.
Oh, you were a victim?
Yes, I was.
Interesting. We'll see how you became a victim. Richard Mensah, my namesake, also joins me in the studio. Richard, I understand you are a marketing student at the University of Ghana and a loomer yourself. You want to understand what this whole thing is, and so thanks that you join us.
Thank you.
And I was just reading about this. It's obvious to me that this particular scheme is most young people. It's mostly about young people, because it plays out in social media circles. By the way, we'll also be speaking to Charles Mensah, who's an investment analyst. He's also been watching this very closely. I want to understand what this is. When we say the loom, I must be honest with you. It's just until the last few hours I've been reading about this. What do we say the loom? What is it?
Well, loom is like something that you're going to say, okay, please give me 20 cedis, and I'm going to give you 180 Ghana cedis by tomorrow, or by the end of the, or maybe in an hour, you're going to get that money. So this is something that is promising the youth of getting some money within within the shortest possible time, and they didn't really work for it. So if I'm broke and I have 50 Ghana cedi and you're telling me that give me your 50 Ghana cedis and I'm going to give you 100 Ghana cedis or 200 Ghana cedis, some people would say, oh, that's cool business, I'm going to get. And because they are not walking into any office to pay any money to anybody, they are going to be like, oh, this is a cool deal, it's real. Because I mean, men's gold just went down, so everybody is alert. But because this is more like among your friends, so you feel more comfortable doing it.
I see. How does this work then in practice?
Okay, so for the loom, it's like a web, but we say a circle.
Okay.
And 6 people will start it. So the first one will be in the middle, next to the second circle, then the next 4, the third circle. And actually, these 6 people, when they start, they don't pay anything.
So that's what you see on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you see on the screen is Ryan is in the middle.
Yeah.
And then there's Ashley and Kanan. Right?
So
So
Ryan
explain
is
to
at
me
the
with what we see on the screen.
Now, Ryan is at the receiving end. So now he or she is receiving the money.
Okay,
so anybody who wants to join. So Ashley, Kanan, is it Kanan? Alana, Destiny, Bridget, Sarah, Ryan, they all paid money to Ryan.
I see.
So when Ryan, so assuming, let's say they are investing 200 Ghana cedis for 1,600 Ghana cedis. So if Ryan receives alerts on his phone and then it's like, okay, now I have the 1,000 Ghana cedis, Ryan then will drop out, and then either Ashley or Kanan will move into the blue circle. Now it's more or less on WhatsApp. So if Ryan drops out, automatically he would have to delete himself from the WhatsApp group. You understand? So either Ashley or Kanan now would form a WhatsApp group with her name, Ashley's name, in the blue circle, and then Kanan now will move on top where Ashley used to be previously, and then Alana, Destiny, Bridget, Sarah will also...
Let me come in this way.
Sure.
So this is how it works. So Ryan, Ashley, Kanan, and like the first is, in case we are starting it, the first 6 will not pay anything. That's why they usually calculate the thing by 8. So it's the outer circle that will make the payment to Ryan. So when Ryan finishes getting his money, that's multiplied by 8, the group decides. So the first 6 that started, they will say, okay, let's pay 60 cedis, then multiply by 8, or 20 cedis multiplied by 8. So after Ryan has taken his money, he will create 2 groups, one for Ashley and one for Kanan. So it's like, okay, now I want to see the circle in full. Fine. So now Ryan will, before deleting the group, Ashley, they will have 2 separate groups. So Ashley will be in the middle in one group, then Kanan will be in the middle for another group.
I see.
Then Bridget and Sarah will decide to join either Ashley or will join Kanan. So it's like, okay, let me say Bridget and Sarah will move to Ashley, the pink circle. Then Destiny and Alana will move to the pink circle for Kanan. So 2 separate groups running simultaneously. Then in case the 8th group is full, they will divide themselves into 4. So 4 will go for Ashley in the green circle. Then another 4 will go for
Ryan.
Kanan in the green circle. So it's like 2 separate groups running concurrently. And now Kanan and his team will now have to go out and look for people to fill the outer 8 for Kanan to get his money. Ashley and his team,
new people you're looking for, those are the people who make the contributions to pay the guy in the middle.
Yes, the guy in the middle. So it goes on like that. So if Kanan gets his money, he also breaks the circle and deletes the group. Then later, the next people will also move into the circle. So it's like, it's be running concurrently at the same time. So I'll break it, I'll leave.
So the way to make this work is constantly bringing in new people.
Yes.
Right? So the 3 of us here can decide to form a loom.
Yeah,
sure.
You can decide to form
right? And then I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
So you contribute to me.
No, we
I'll
are not
be in
going
the middle
to pay.
since you have a lot of people following.
So Richard will be in the middle.
I see.
But then if we all agree that let's create this loom,
So
you know.
you said something that's interesting. Because I have more people following me,
Yes.
it's better for me to be outer.
So that you look for more people to join the
You
group. So that
have
in
a
case
voice,
even I
you have the
leave,
face. So
in case even I leave, we will still get more people joining. The thing is, they are looking for people who have a bit of integrity. Okay, in case I say, okay, I'm forming a loom with Evans. Wow,
so that's an attraction.
Yes, it's an attraction.
So there's some credibility. So people will bring the money.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if you leave, I stay.
Yes.
But I move to the circle.
You move to the circle in case you're in the pink part. So you move to the circle, and she will also create 2 separate groups. You move to the circle. She also moves to the circle in 2 separate.
You know the arrow there.
Yes.
I see something.
Yes. So it divides it. Then we will create 2 different groups. Then we will still be getting. And the thing is, when assuming I go join your group, let's say Richard is just a friend of mine who watches my status and all that. When I want to get Richard to join, I'm not going to tell Richard honestly like, oh Richard, this is Loom, but when you are joining, you have to bring people. No, the people who are already in there, they will make you think that they've actually received their money. So it's simple. Oh, you're going to get it within the shortest possible time. You get it? So I'll put on my status. Some people go as far as capturing their mobile money alerts. They will intentionally, if they have 2 phones, I will send an alert to this phone, you know, keep sending. Then I will just cancel the name so that obviously you wouldn't know that the name is from the same, the money is from the same person. So if you are watching and you are naive and you know you don't really know much about it, you think, oh, this really works. Let me go in there. So now when you join, your friend will not tell you have to bring people, assuming.
So you join with money?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Assuming I want to get Richard, and Richard is not good at convincing people. He's not good at, you know, marketing something to someone. So you're telling that the way to keep this going is for him to have to bring them money, because they'll tell you,
oh, in 1 hour you get your money.
Yes.
But, oh, 3 days you get it.
Because the person who brings the money, he will get his money. Right? Yeah. Is that what it is?
The person who brings the money.
The person who brings the person.
The person who brings the person will get the money. In case you are in the middle. Yes. That's if you are part of the first 4 or first 5, 6 who form the group. But assuming that I'm neutral, he's neutral, and then you and other people have formed the group, and you bring me in. And I realize this is what the thing is. You know, it's too good to be true. This is what the thing is. Then I also need my money. So I will try to convince Richard to also come on board. You understand? But I'm not going to tell him you have to bring people. I can say, oh, you don't even have to work, because sometimes when you bring it, you know, other people will bring more people, yes, so automatically you will get your money.
So I get the point that once you enter and you've already committed money and you've given the money to that person has left, you almost feel that if you don't bring additional people, you've lost that money.
Exactly.
So there's a motivation to keep
bringing people in.
But what happens when you can no longer bring people?
Well, if the group doesn't move and the pyramid doesn't shift, you are not getting your money.
So that is when it crashes.
Yes.
That is when it crashes.
Yes.
Okay. So how much money did you put in your loom?
20 cedis.
Okay, that's small.
Yes, because I thought it was too good to be true. And the only thing that is too good to be true is salvation. Okay, so if you are telling me I should bring 20 CDs and I'm going to get 180 Ghana CDs.
Did you get a 180 Ghana CDs?
Oh, please, no.
I'm
still waiting.
Because how long has it been?
It's been, I think, almost a week now. And I didn't get the 180 Ghana cedis. Reason, I joined the group, and the person who convinced me to join, my very good friend, didn't tell me that, oh, you have to bring people on board. Oh, you have to, you know. She was like, oh, when you even join, it's cool, because if you join, there are a lot of people in the group. So automatically, they will even work to bring people, and it will shift, it will push you, you know, to the next second. So even if you bring somebody, fine. But if you don't, oh, you still get your money. It's going to come. At the channel now.
I had a friend who contributed 200 cedis and had thousands. But he struggled before getting into the middle, and he struggled before getting his thousands. And the thing is, when the first outer, I'm talking about the outer 8, in case you're in the middle, when the first person joins, the person sends you the money. So automatically, you are going to get your 200 cedis back when the first person joins. But the whole notion is I'm getting thousands. So you are going to work to get thousands, then you leave and break the group. So when he got 4 people, he sent me a message, Richie, I want people to join my loom group. It's 200 for thousands. He suffered. After some days, people were promising 1 hour, 3 days. No, he spent about 1 week getting the people on board. After he has gotten his thousands, I asked him, so are you going to do it again? He said, no, debut. I'm not doing this thing again. So you can see that they don't tell you the actual thing. They just promise you something small, something that will just convince you to join. But they don't tell you the truth. There are some people, when the thing started, I think on the 7th, I had a lot of people sending me message because they know Richie has influence and I have people. I said, no, I'm not interested. But on this 8th, when it started coming in, the proposal started coming in, I decided to find out about it. So I posted a message on my status, okay, so I need to join a loom group, but I need a person who give me the highest bid. So people started sending message. And I asked, there are some people who are even part of the loom, but don't have enough knowledge about it. There's a lady I kept on asking, okay, he said, Richie, it's okay. It's okay, don't join mine, because the questions are too. You could see that she doesn't know much about it.
And but I don't mean to cut you, but there are people who are very popular on social media. They have following. I mean, thousands of people following them. There is this popular lady on Snapchat who was actually promoting people's loom groups for 50 cedis.
So you give the 50 cedis to her?
So you pay her 50 cedis, like I'm selling a phone and I want to advertise my product. So, oh, okay, I'm paying you 50 cedi and I want you to promote my loom group. So she will post, oh, this is the fastest, you know, loom, whatever, join and get your money. And then she'll post it on Snapchat and she has thousands of followers. So people who are following will think, oh, this is true, let me join. If this is the fastest, I'm going to join. So then, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so clearly, this is a group of people trying to, I mean, well, through deception, get more people involved.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's almost too late when you've put money in, you realize that this is not what I thought.
Yes.
But to continue going and not lose your money completely, you're forced to bring additional people. And then the cycle continues.
And you know.
I mean, but I also realized from what you said, is that this is not the men's goal type thing, where people put thousands and millions sometimes of Ghana cedis into it. This is more of the small amounts, 100 here, 20 there, 200 there, 500 there, whatever it is,
cedis for 50
into
cedis,
the pool,
you know.
and then collectively grows bigger, and then you take your share and go off. Just reading about it, I think it started in Australia, right? Or UK.
Yes, Australia.
Because in the statement that was issued by Yoko says it started in UK, but I've seen it also in
Australia, and even in Nigeria.
And it was $300 here, $500 there.
Exactly.
But here's the thing: this is a Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
It's just a Ponzi scheme.
And I wish Charles Ponzi was alive, so we can ask him all the questions.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
Do people appreciate that? The people who participate in it, do they appreciate that this is a Ponzi scheme?
They don't.
They don't.
That it's inevitable, but this will crash.
No, you know, like I said earlier, they feel like, okay, I don't have to walk into any office to do any paperwork, you know, to deposit any money to anybody. So if this is there are people who look up to people. So assuming I am following you and I realize that you are looming, oh, if Evans is looming, then I mean this is real. I can also
Evans is looming.
I can also loom and get the money because you know Evans integrity, you know, the thing, the niche you've carved for yourself, I believe in it. So if you are looming, I feel like yes, I can also loom. Because
are you out of your loom?
I deleted the group from my phone.
Why?
Because people were fighting. People were fighting. Yes, it got.
What's up fighting?
Yes, there's this popular, you know, voice note going around. I don't know if you've heard it, but there's a lady who has a lady friend, and the lady friend convinced her to join the loom by paying 50 Ghana cedis. Now she paid. She paid the 50 Ghana cedis and she didn't get the money. Apparently, the lady who convinced her is having her outdooring this weekend. So the lady sent her a voice note telling her that you've taken my 50 Ghana cedis to, you know, help you do your outdooring. I will be coming to your outdooring and I'm going to collect all the food and I'm going to really cause commotion at your outdooring. So prepare for me.
Yes, because
so
of 50
this is
cedis?
exactly. So this is, apart from it being a scam, it's actually, you know, creating problems with relationship people have built over the years, because there are people who won't understand that, oh, she just introduced me, it's not a big deal. Someone will actually fight you for their money. You know, friendships that have been built over the years are going down the drain.
Because of this.
Because
they don't appreciate the fact that it's a Ponzi scheme.
No.
Ponzi scheme deals with a pyramid where the person at the top gets the payment. So eventually, when you are down there, you move to the top. So it's promising a small money, then a higher pay. So put in some more, you get higher pay in the middle. But people don't appreciate the fact there are people even battling with the Bible that Jesus said when they give you two, you are supposed to multiply it and all that. They are trying to do everything possible to convince people
right.
to yes, to make it right. But they're knowing that at the end it is going to crash, because when we keep on bringing people, it's not going to continue like that. People will finish. So in case the whole world is coming
but there
to
are people who have benefited from this.
Yes, people have benefited.
And so it's not everybody who's against it. There are people who believe there's money to be made, and they have. You didn't make any money in the one you tried.
My friend did.
Yeah, 1,600. How much did you put in?
200 cities.
Yeah, that's just a huge profit. I mean, so that is there to be made. So that is why people do it.
But you know, some people at the receiving end are quite, they understand it. Reason that a friend of mine also joined with 50 Ghana cedis, promised to be given 400 Ghana cedis. Now she came into an agreement with the person at the receiving end that, look, I'm going to put in the 50 Ghana cedis, but if you don't get me, if you don't get people to join and I don't get the 400 cedis, you are agreeing that you are going to send me back my 50 Ghana cedis.
What, so there was an agreement?
There was an agreement, because they spoke over the phone and there was an agreement. So when they created the group and the money was coming in and then, you know, it was not moving as they expected, she sent back the 50 Ghana cedis to my friend. So there are people who will understand, because assuming I want to create my group now and I'm telling you that, 1,000 Ghana cedi for 8,000 or 6,000. And this is a classical example. A celebrity was Looming. And she told another celebrity friend that, look, this is my group. I mean, celebrity Looming.
Yeah, I mean, but if there's money to be made, money
exactly.
is
So she convinced.
They recently, over the weekend, Yoko issued a statement, and this is on the back of the Security and Election Commission also doing same. We should look for that sex sound interview and play. The Yoko point was that this is a scam, and people should beware. If you deal with this, you do it at your own risk. Have you sensed that has sort of affected the growing popularity of this, or people don't care?
Well, to be honest with you, I told you I invested 20 Ghana cedis. But before then, I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw an article that, you know, they've issued a statement saying it's fake and you do this. I saw it, I captured it, posted it on my WhatsApp status, sent it to a few other people that I knew were talking about Loom. Because people, listen, I was inundated with the comments on Loom, on my status, my timeline. So although I read the story, someone still managed to convince me to invest 20 Ghana cedis. Okay,
so the point is that it hasn't done anything to convince people.
No, people who are.
I think it has.
Okay.
I think it has.
Why do you say that?
After SEC released that info, I saw it on people's status, like they are not getting people again and all that. And the scam aspect, this thing, I'll break it into two. It's either a scam or not a scam, because the thing is, as I said, it's not regulated by a central body. When you touch the head, it affects everybody. It's not like that. This is a WhatsApp group. We decided to come together to contribute money, and so no one is duping anybody. If we decide to bring the people on board, we get our money. If you don't bring the people on board, you are there.
It's like,
but the scam aspect is the part that, in case you are starting the whole thing afresh, the first is if you don't pay anything. So you are taking people's money. That's the 8 people who first joined to get to the middle person. You are taking people's money without any work done. I would say for the first 6 people, I would say it is a scam for them. But those first 8, the outer 8 who joined and made a contribution, let me say 5 cities or 20 cities, they get into the middle eventually. It's like they're reaping what they have sowed. So for them, I will not say it's a scam, but the first people who started taking people's money without any work done, it's a scam for them. So I will not demoralize the whole thing and demonize it in such a way that the whole thing is a scam. No. For the first 8 people who joined the altar, I would say it's not a scam. They are reaping what they have sowed. But for the first 6, I would say it's a scam for them.
The bigger question is, because this has become a big deal in Ghana and elsewhere in UK and Australia, they've already dealt with this. Regulators have made the point there that if it's a crime to be involved in this, and people will be arrested. But in Ghana, we don't seem to have a clear cut. But the secretary says it's unlicensed. They're not trying to explore ways of trying to deal with this. When we return, we'll explore that with Charles Mensah, who's an analyst, will join us and to explore this particular part of this conversation. Stay with us. So live on PM Express tonight on this question about this new phenomenon where people are looming. I hope you understand what this is all about. Let's bring in Charles Mensah, he's a financial analyst. Mr. Mensah, thank you for your time here on PM Express.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
The SEC recently issued a statement warning against this particular phenomenon. Also, IOCO had done same. There seem to be a void, a lacuna, that people are exploiting here. Almost the same as what we saw with Meng's Gold. But how are you reading what is happening? What you are an expert. You watch it with an expert eye. What's your reaction to it? How are you interpreting what is happening?
First and foremost, what it is that we have laws in this country, and then we have institutions that are mandated to license companies that would want to play in the investment world. So if it has to do with outside the banking system, then we have the Security Exchange Commission that guides us. And therefore, any product that seeks to attract people to invest in a product where a certain return, an expected return will be given to you, or a guaranteed return will be given to you, has to be approved by Security Exchange Commission. So be as it may, the company first and foremost has to be registered with the Registrar General. The object clause has to be stated clearly there. And then you go to Security Exchange Commission so that you can play the investment market. Where it is that you haven't been registered by Security Exchange Commission, and then you are playing the game, then you are doing an illegal stuff. What it is that we should educate the general public, because general public generally want to get some returns. Now, if it is that they want to get returns, there are avenues for making those returns. You have treasury bills there, you have mutual funds there, possibly you have a savings account in one of the mainstream banks. So if you play another thing, then it's just like investing your money, your fiscal money, in partnership with somebody else to do business to get profit. Anything less than that, you are losing your own money, and that's your fault, not the authority, because the authority have forewarned, and to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And I think that the investment public, really, if they want returns, must make sure that they've invested in an approved company or an investment product that has been approved. Nothing more, nothing less.
So you put this on investing public?
Yes.
I mean, but isn't that risky? Because we know that where there's money involved, people will be greedy. And so we need regulation and regulatory authorities to check the greed, right? And so if you leave it entirely to people, it will have Meng's Gold. We'll have Piran.
I like the word that people go for the greed. And it is a high-risk venture. Now, if Evans, as we speak, a friend of you have invited you to invest in his company, what has Security Exchange Commission got to do with it? It's your friend that you have read your friend's proposal and you realize that you want to invest in some farming activity. Nobody controls that once the company is registered. And then you go to articles and you invest in the companies. So there's no regulation, so to speak, to tell you how much we invest in it. But where you are telling the general public that I have an investment product, if you invest a certain amount, this is the returns that you will get. Now, to protect the investment public, the Security Exchange Commission, which has been set up by the Republic of Ghana, states that product, that company has to be approved by us. So I don't think that we should belabor the point that you have to. You have to, because else every Tom, Dick, and Harry can open an investment company and then play the game. People will invest in it and people will lose their money. And you want to avoid a situation where people lose their money, because it has to be approved. If it hasn't been approved, that's it. You've lost your money. So please, what it is that if it has to be approved by Security Exchange Commission, don't invest in it. Else, put your money in treasury bills. Put your money in mutual funds. Once you are driven by greed, make sure that it's approved, because greed doesn't play the game.
So what role though do you give the regulatory authorities then in this matter? Because the question really is, we've seen both SEC and Yoko say you do this at your own risk. Is that good enough?
It's enough. That's what they've forewarned you, and you have to arm yourself. So you go in at your own risk, because there's no way a regulator can come into an individual house and tell you that don't go invest in this particular company, because that's what you've managed to see, read about the company, you want to invest in it. So if you stretch that into investment product, there are laws there, and we should buy by it. There are laws there. There are laws, and the law says that it has to be approved. That's why if you are going to buy pharmaceutical product, they do say that this product has been approved by Food and Drug Board or Food and Drugs Authority. Having said that, they themselves have a monitoring mechanism. So as soon as it comes to their attention, they draw the public attention to it, so the public doesn't follow and lose money. It's very important, Ivan. It's very important that we get ourselves educated. The challenge that we have in the system is that people, financial literacy education is pretty weak as we speak. So people have to avail themselves into a little bit of financial literacy. The high returns that you expect is a high risk. More so when the risk itself is not protected, there's no law backing it, there's no approval, there's no nothing backing it. You lose more and you lose again. So please, we need to strictly abide by it. We have rules. Make sure that the product that you're going to invest in is advertised. If it's advertised, we have Security Exchange Commission approving it. That's key.
Except that though, this is not necessarily a product. So these are a few friends who are 8 who decide to come together, and then they convince others to bring in money, just like what the Ponzi scheme is. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And
it's a pyramid.
It is a pyramid. And isn't that the challenge? So the challenge here is, you talk about financial literacy, educating people. But if you look at the way this later phenomenon is structured, it's more targeted at young people, vulnerable folks, maybe in university, who they have 100 CDs here, 200 CDs there. Somebody says, I can double that for you in a few hours. What do you expect them to do? When the regulatory agencies aren't doing the education that you're calling for, at least you must hold the regulatory authorities responsible to the extent that we are not getting enough education on this matter.
Yes, I agree totally with that on the education bit. I agree totally with that. The regulator must on regular basis advertise on the newspapers, in the dailies, on the radio stations, so that you and I would always be abreast with what's happening in the system. But if 3 friends on the university campus team together and say, okay, let's all contribute 15 Ghana cedi with the 45. So this month, I'll take the 45. Next month, you contribute another 15, and then B will take the 45. People have been doing on campuses. People have been doing on the work side. But where it is that they are luring you are being lured to join something. And the condition that is given to you is that the following month, bring additional person so that you can cash out. And this is a pyramid. So the new ones are feeding the older one. Once it happens, the house of cards, it will crumble. It means that if we don't get any new ones coming in, you can never cash out. If you don't get new ones joining in, you can never cash out. So if you can't cash out when you don't bring new ones, then it's not good. But if you have 3 friends that you know each other, that 3 friends, everybody's contributing 15 CDs every month. So by every month, everybody will get 45. So we know that you can see the people, you know the people, they are bringing it. But where you have to bring new people onto it so that you can cash out, it's a high risk. It's a high risk, and we don't have to play with it. People should invest in it, and rightly so that the Yoko has stated clearly about it. Rightly so that Security Exchange have clearly stated about it. Else, we'll be sitting here, and tomorrow it will be added into the taxpayers' liability that, oh, the regulator didn't do well. We need to know what we are buying into. Very important, my brother.
Now, this is something that beats me, which is that all what we are talking about, the Loom, the Golden Empire Legacy Limited that the SEC warned us about, all this is happening just on the heels of Men's Gold. The millions of dollars and CDs that people have lost. The many lives severely touched by this. And yet, it hasn't perturbed most people who are still engaged in this greed industry. is there something more fundamental to this problem of people Ghanaians willing to take this risk with their funds in spite of the obvious risk that we've seen go by with men's gold? You are the financial analyst. What is happening at the very bottom of this that may be fueling the growth of these scams?
Okay, thank you very much for this very question. What it is that people have some cash. People want returns for the cash that they have. Now, there aren't too many opportunities in the system as we speak. And therefore, any other opportunity that pops up, people want to go in there and go in early and cash out early. That's the kind of situation that we have. So in itself, government ought to create more opportunities for people to invest. We have the stock market, but it's not active as it should have been. Ideally, if people were playing the stock market where you buy shares this month, you wait for another 6 months, you can see growth in the particular company that if you invested in. You can see the share price rising or going down. So you can sell your shares. We have capital gains out of it, which in itself is exempted from paying tax. Where you don't have the know-how, then we have the mutual fund that is, they are all in units. So you can buy as many units as your money can take. The mutual fund will grow. If you want to cash out at a particular day, you can see. This particular, you can see a particular objective or particular investment or a particular company that they are putting the money in. But this particular looming that we are talking about, Evans, what are they using the money for which it's yielding those returns that is attracting you? Once you cannot define what you are using or what they are investing in, if they can tell us that they are investing in agriculture and the returns on those agriculture is this, then you all know that you have invested in agribusiness. You can even visit agribusiness to see what they do. But here it's an illusion because they're telling you that, oh, bring it, you get this. It's an illusion because there's nothing to hold on to. Because if today they say, okay, what did you buy? What do you have to show? Nothing. But when you buy shares, you have a share certificate to hold, and evidence that you bought a particular share in a particular company. You know that they are controlled by Ghana Stock Exchange. So if anything goes wrong, Ghana Stock Exchange has to be blamed. If you invest in the bank, you have the Bank of Ghana regulating it. And therefore, if you buy any other product outside these two, you have the Security Exchange Commission, which will tell you that, yes, they brought it, and Security Exchange Commission ought to make sure that they have the right people, fund manager who understands the game, that the right risks are being monitored, the returns are being monitored. And that's what we need to do. If we don't do that, people will come tomorrow and create certain things, and they will rush into it. I think we should nip it on the back. Once Yoko wants, we should go straight and lift the veil and arrest people and prosecute them for doing illegal stuff.
Charles, thank you very much. Do you agree with that point that the way to do this is to arrest people? So, for example, your group, they should track you people down and just simply bundle all of you and arrest. Do you think that's a way to deal with this? To avoid more people falling victim?
Yes, because when you were speaking, you said something that just when men's gold went down, people are not worried. People do not care. They are still investing. People are making money. So what lesson was learned from this men's gold issue? So if people are being arrested,
but how do you find these people? This is a social media thing.
Social media thing.
How do you find them? I mean, isn't it impossible to find them? Because this is a group of people who are operating on social media. It's possible they haven't even met the person before.
Yeah. But the thing is, if it is WhatsApp group, maybe unless they plant in, let me say, CIDs in the various WhatsApp groups, so you opt to join a loom group in case you finally enter the group, then you nabbed the one in the middle, or you just ask them, oh, so who started this? And they'll point out the person who started. Then you can fish the person out and report the person, unless they do it that way, because it's a social media thing. If it was something that you can have a building established there, then you go there, you find the CEO
office.
And all
this
that.
is operating
on social media.
In the abstract world. So regulation is an issue. There's a reason why SEC is struggling to say, we are leaving it to you, because if you do this and something goes wrong, at your own risk. Yoko says the same thing. We've established here that that hasn't stopped people from going in. This is pure greed. And one is money, but people play it out. You say we should arrest the people.
Yes, and I really think that if you are doing it, please stop. Because I think it's a scam. And I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. I won't, because this is, your integrity is at stake, your relationships, you know, because you don't even know who looks up to you, you know, and this person sees that you are looming. So, oh, if Nanaya is looming, then Charlie, the thing be real, make her go join. You see? Or maybe I'll convince him, maybe I and Richard, we have a relationship, I'll convince him, he joins, he doesn't get his money, and now he starts fighting me. That's the end of our relationship.
Of course, I'll fight you, because when the time comes for you to convince me to join the page, you don't tell me the details of it.
Exactly.
You were not told the details?
No.
You were not told the details.
I was not.
You had to bring people in. So when you found they had to bring, well, you should have just, why did you decide, you should have just decided to bring people so you can cash out?
Well, initially, when I was told and I joined, then, you know, I realized that I have to bring in more people. Obviously, I have a group of friends that, you know, I dip and go down with them. So I don't care. I don't mind talking to them. But I realized that, no, this lady was like, you have to still, you know, talk to more people. You have to bring in more people. Then I told her that I cannot risk my integrity just because of 20 Ghana cedis. So I'm going to let it go. Because there are certain people that you cannot approach to even try to convince them to join, because you will look, excuse me to say, very stupid. Because when you join and then you realize that this is it, I'm sure if you were told that these are the requirements, maybe you would think twice.
Okay. This is not written anywhere.
No.
There isn't a place where the group says, these are rules. It's word of mouth.
Exactly.
And as you said, people publish what they claim they've made from the process.
Exactly.
And people see the amount and just simply jump onto it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much on this matter. Is this something that's happening in the universities alone, or this is just across board? Because I see a lot of young people in the school who tell me they're participating.
It's not only
where did you first notice this?
University.
Yeah, so that's my question. This is something that is very predominant in the university?
I would say because our circles are full of the people that we work with. So I'm in the university, so I would say, okay, it's in the university domain. Maybe somebody in the primary or...
But in that, which university is Legon?
University of Ghana.
Okay. Yes. In University of Ghana, was this something that was quite predominant among your friends?
Yes, it was.
Okay. How early was this? Is this something recent?
Yes, 7th. I had the first message, 7th June. Yes.
So it's sort of a new craze in town.
Yes, it's a new thing.
And everybody's doing it.
Yes.
Is it something that university authorities are aware of?
For this, I would say that definitely, since it's being published online, it's being spoken about and all that, they'll definitely be aware. But what can they do? They can't do anything. It's in our WhatsApp pages. We have created our own group, managing our own thing, taking our own money. What can you do, even if you know about it? You can't do me anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, just talking about it on
until people lose money and it spills into real confrontations.
Exactly.
As you've seen, and real lives are lost, because if you have your school fees and you use it to do the loom and you lose it, then that becomes I'm grateful that you joined us.
That would be amazing. It's for you to use your.
And I mean, there's a bit of the part of this that is also financial education that you had from Charles Manson. I hope that, you know, once you understand what this is. Listen, when there's money involved, people really don't care. They believe that they can be the early birds who make a quick buck. But as you realize, you can be Nanaya who gets absolutely nothing. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And Sex says, well, if you do anything like looming, you're doing it at your own risk. Enjoy the rest of your evening.